Do you hear this song? God. Okay, Google. What's the name of this song?
This is Party All the Time by Eddie Murphy. I've sent more info about
Is
this
that
song.
true? Did I know Eddie Murphy had songs? My whole body has got goosebumps right now. Eddie Murphy. Man, when I was a kid. I don't even think I knew what delicious was, but I was like. Okay, Google, pause the music so Facebook doesn't kick me out of the world. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Ooh, did you hear that? Snap, crackle, pop. Okay, happy Friday. This is napkins. Happy napkins in my crotch. That was weird. Okay, let me get my body parts together. It's been a Friday, but Friday mornings already. It's already 9:45. I didn't even realize. I've been doing some catching up on some things. And hi. And yeah, I just wanted to come talk for a minute about our point of attraction, our frequency, and how we could know what that means, know what that is. So if you just sit in your seat, wherever you are, take a big breath and put your hand on your belly or just feel into your belly. Like, what do you feel in your belly right now? Does it feel tight and squeezy? Is it kind of like all over the place? Are you feeling full and swollen? Is it relaxed? Is it sore? Is it hard to sit? Is it hard to sit up? How are you feeling? Starting in the belly, like right behind the belly button. How are you feeling behind the belly button? If behind the belly button feels relaxed, reach further. Go up a little higher toward the heart and go down a little lower into the seat. How are you feeling here? Are you still relaxed? Are things getting tight there? And go a little farther down into the legs, up into the heart, shoulders. Feel. Are things tight here? Are things squeezy, painful? Do they feel a little disconnected from us? And then one more thought going down into the lower legs and feet, the arms, and up in through the face. And just feel into the face, feel into your fingers, feel into your toes. How are all those parts feeling? Are there any parts there that are holding on to, like, people, there are times when I have been like squeezing in a space in my body and not even realizing it until later. I know a lot of us do this with the jaw, like when we sleep, we'll squeeze the jaw, or when we're in conversation, we're just like tensing. Just do a scan. Are you tense anywhere? Are you feeling closed off to yourself or others anywhere? And this is just like a way to just see where you are, because that right there is your temperature as far as what you got coming to you. We manifest from how we feel from in here and what we think from here. It doesn't matter what goes on outside. Okay, that's not true. It matters so much less by the time we're doing it out here. By the time we're doing it out here, we're just spilling into the next manifestation. Like, literally, what is happening to me today is because of what I did yesterday. And what happens tomorrow is going to be more about what I do today than what I do when I wake up tomorrow. And it's almost like we're walking into we're walking into our energy all the time. We're walking into our expectation, which is connected to our energy because it's connected to our thoughts, which are connected to our emotional body, which is how the universe communicates with us, which is how we manifest. which is how things come to us, which is how our intuition is delivered. So if you're wondering, like, how to start getting a little bit more of a grip, if the days where it's like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, if you're just tired of being tossed around, start feeling into the belly. Start thinking, like, am I feeling relaxed? Am I feeling at ease? Am I feeling like I'm holding on? Am I feeling closed off? Am I not feeling into places? And even if it's something like my elbow is stiff, do not take that as a nothing. That is a something from you, from the universe, to address. Even if it's just a matter of holding on to your elbow and giving yourself a moment of your touch, just transferring awareness to that space. And just giving yourself that attention and seeing what frees up, seeing what comes to mind. We so often are in this do, go. And what's going on in our head, we don't think it's relevant. We don't realize that how we feel in our stomach matters so much. That we just feel like, well, I got to show up, so I showed up. But we don't realize that by coming in it that way, you're not giving yourself a very good chance of having the best experience of everything. And not everything that we do is necessarily our favorite or even supposed to be enjoyable. But as a human, who I'm hoping that you're free and not being forced to do anything, if that's the case, then I'm not talking to you. If that's the case, then you have a different circumstance that you need to get yourself safe. And if you happen to be a you and you're watching this and that's you, then, if you want to reach out and talk, reach out and talk. But back to, for the most of us that I hope that are not being forced to do things. What we're not forced to do is take care of our emotions. It's either up to us or not. It's kind of like washing our hands out of the bathroom. Not many people know. Do you really wash your hands out of the bathroom? You know. Other people think they know. Do they know? You know. Everything that you say to yourself, you hear. Every feeling you let yourself feel, part of you is receiving that. A lot of times when I'm talking to moms, we talk about wellness for our children. I got to be healthy for my kids. I want to be well for my family. And my almost always first response is, what about you? You count. Your feelings count. In fact, we have it so backwards because that's the way that's what it's modeled everywhere, especially for moms. Pause, soda. I needed some brown bubbles in my mouth. We're sort of trained and prodded into this space of, well, you're a mother. Everything should be for your children now. I'm saying that in a way, sorry. That's still some cleaning up I could do, probably. Because I'm working into a space where, when you have learned something and you've begun practicing it and you feel very good at it, but you still have to look. You still have to see what you're doing. You can't do it on autopilot. It's one of these things. It's like when we brush our teeth now, it's automatic. You can you can type text, wash a dish, put on a shoe. You can do 6,000 things while you brush your teeth, hit every molar, and done. You didn't actually even taste the toothpaste half the time. You did it completely on autopilot. This human experience can be done like that. And in that case, it will seem like the roulette wheel. Every once in a while, you might hit something good. And I think for the most part, most people find a balance. Usually it's like, I got this, but not this. It's, look at me milking the cow. I got love, but maybe my career isn't where I want it to be. Or I have a family and my career is wonderful, but my partner, or I have a wonderful family and a beautiful relationship, but my body doesn't feel like home to me. I feel like most of us are at a place where it's pretty like this, pretty balanced in its imbalance. And that's why a lot of times you hear and see people having to hit a rock bottom before it's like, whoa, we're actually shook enough to stop. Me and my friend Miri were reading this meme, God love memes, talking about frogs in a pot. And how if you toss a God, this sounds horrible. If you toss a frog into a pot of boiling water, the frog is going to jump out. Hopefully, very fast and not get hurt. But if you put a frog in a pot of water and then turn it on, it will heat up and the frog won't get out. It won't get out. Our human experience, for me, before understanding all of the things, felt like that. I was here. Sometimes it was hot. Sometimes it was cold. Sometimes it was fun. Sometimes it was not. And I just kept kind of just being wherever I was, and wanting to keep doing it the way that I was doing it. I wanted to keep being accepted by the groups that I was trying to be accepted by, whether it was people saying I'm doing a good job at momming or people excited to see me at the bar when I showed up. Like, I wanted to be wanted by people. I think that's a pretty normal thing. I wanted to feel like it mattered if I was there or not, or that I added something to the mix. And I didn't feel like me being myself was what anybody wanted. Because it just turned out that I had spent so much time trying to fit into all of those other, and not doing any inner. It was just like, it was almost like, shut up, Nancy. You're fucking this up. Like, all the time. And usually it would then come into another thing where I was shutting it up so that I could fit in, so that I could stay in the pot. It felt too fucking scary to not be there. It felt like, well, what would I do? Well, who would care about me? What if they don't think I'm a good mom? I went to, do you know how many times I went to an event still probably drunk or hungover? Because I was never going to miss it. I would never miss an event that I scheduled for my kids, and I kept it scheduled. I was so uncomfortable sitting in my body and being in my own energy and not being a part of something that I scheduled every minute I could. Every minute, every event, everything. If it was free, if I had a ride, I was going. And if not, I would probably try to figure out how I could get there, and then I was still going. I was not going to let me be alone with me if hell broke loose. Anyway, hell broke loose. But you are alone with you. Even if you don't think you are. Even if you think I'm showing up, I'm smiling, look at me in the picture. You're still hearing you. You're still feeling you. And you're not going to fool yourself forever. Eventually, something comes to a head and we have to address it. Whether it's a physical illness or injury in the body, or pain or ache in the body, or a relationship falling apart, or a job ending, or an addiction getting the better of us. Like, somehow, some way, each of us were kind of designed to have that fail safe. Well, if she doesn't wake up by this, cue rock bottom. Because I said it a few days ago on a medium rant. Just like we came with breath, with a belly that wants to eat, we have a spiritual part of us that we don't get to turn off. And it's here. It's here in our belly. It's here in our heart. Our intuition is here. Our feelings are here. Sorry. You just got to deal with it. Or you don't deal with it and you stay in the pot and maybe you don't get out. Maybe you just never get out of the pot. And that's also your choice. You can decide to stay in that space of, I'm not doing it differently. I'm going to I know this is it. Because eventually, truly eventually, your soul will have its way. You'll either experience your awakening and find your way back home to you, or, we reemerge into non-physical and blend back with our whole soul again. But we were equipped to figure this out. We were born to remember that we are a lot more than what we see on the other end of the screen. We are not just a body that's showing up to a birthday party. It's not just that. It is not just that. My belly is growling. And it's really weird because I'm not hungry. But it's like doing all these talking things. I'm trying to figure out what she wants me to say. Hold on, let me talk to my belly for a minute. Be right back. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, my phones are vibrating. I really thought I had a solid minute. Okay. I am celebrating 601 days today and 86 weeks alcohol-free. And I listened to a teacher yesterday, and she said something that made me feel so yeah, fuck yeah. She made it sound like what I just said is that. So she talks about creating and energetics, which is my mother flicking jam. Energy, gimme. She says, in every point, we are finishing something, beginning something, and finishing, in the middle of, and beginning something new. Every single moment. And it's true. And every single moment, we are in this skin. We are either receiving or not receiving our intuition, and we are feeling or not feeling into our belly. All of these things, we are either being deliberate with these parts of our body. This is my favorite thing. It's why would you come to Earth and not use these hands? That's the craziest shit in the world. Have you seen cats? They can't open the refrigerator. My cat tries because he knows the cold water's in there. He's kind of spoiled. It's ding, 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 ding. Fill the cup, Mom. Ding, 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 ding. But why would we come into full body and not use all the body parts? Well, we wouldn't. But because we wanted an adventure, we wanted a journey, we wanted it to be amazing because it is, we on purpose forgot. We let ourselves find our way. We don't want to buy a puzzle already put together. We want to feel ourselves, get the frame. Me and my mom used to do puzzles, and we'd first separate all the pieces. That was the first job. All the straight edges here, and all the middle guts here. Make sure they're all flipped over. They all got to be flipped side up. That's the first part. And they all got to be separated. Straight edges here, middle's here. And then we build the frame. And then we start, and we start, and we start, and we start. And there is nothing sweeter than getting to put in that last puzzle piece. Whew! I just got chills all over the mall. My erectile pili muscle is firing on all cylinders. But gosh, guys, it's just like that. Why would we come here and just be done? I want to have a family wellness resort. I want to have a beach home where I wake up in the morning and teach yoga and close the night with drum circles and dancing with our bellies exposed under the moon. And I'm going to do it. But if I was already doing that, what would I be wanting to do right now? I want to somehow, I am going to have my version of a circus. And every time I say that, I feel my face wanting to crack because it sounds crazy, but I want to do it. So I'm gonna. Even if it's my own fucking circus, I will do that. Do you think I care? I don't care. Have you met me? I cared before. I spent 40 years caring. Not anymore. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. If it makes no sense, it makes sense to me. I count because I'm here and I'm hearing it. And if part of this human with so much soul wants to fucking flip around in a circle and call herself a circus person, then that's what we're going to do. Because probably somewhere, either I'm going to meet someone, or I'm going to learn something, or I'm going to be upside down, and my next best idea is coming. The next frame for my next puzzle is coming as I slip that last piece in. The next part's coming. Because I'm listening to my belly, and I'm hearing my heart, and I'm feeling in my mind, and I want it all. I'm going to use my hands. I'm going to use my feet. I'm going to use my big girl voice. And I'm going to be messy. And I'm going to enjoy learning how to fall very well at each one of the things. You know? And I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I'm not going to care. I'm not going to not do it because I'm not going to get it perfect the first time. First of all, I don't want to do it perfect. I want to do it like I want to do it. I want to do it like my person wants it. Of course I don't want to do it just like you would be doing it. That wouldn't feel the same to me because my body's different. Of course I don't want the same amount of salt on my food that you have on your food because I kind of like salty things. Maybe you don't so much. But that doesn't mean that we both don't deserve to have our food the way that we want it. And that doesn't mean that you don't get to be building puzzles and putting in the last piece every single day and starting over every single day. And you are able to tune into that part of you and let yourself lead yourself through every single part of that, through every single last piece and frame, every single part. And I almost wish, like, you know when you go to the service for your car and they plug in under the dash, like, what's all, like, doot, 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 when all your little crazy lights go on? Like, who makes the shapes of those things anyway? But, like, when all the lights are on and it's like, I don't know what this means, and you got to plug it in, like, when we plug in, that means we stop talking and we stop thinking and we listen. You have to shut up to listen. And that means shut up your mind, because you can hear yourself or you could not hear yourself. And you can heal yourself or you cannot heal yourself. It's completely your call. Every single one of us are capable and able and had planned on coming and healing your body, healing your experience, healing your family, healing your ancestors, healing your children, not fucking up our children. Shut up, Nancy. That's not really how I mean to say it, but it's my own wording. My daughter turns 10 tomorrow, my oldest. And there's been many times when I've talked to her and like, I'm sorry, I wasn't a good mom when you were a baby. And she's so amazing. She's always like, Mom, you're the best mom forever. You're the best mom. You're the best mom. But I know who I was when she was a baby. I remember. And it's those sort of things that we'll get in our head and we get in those loops. And it's like, I'm still beating myself up because of who I was 10 years ago when I didn't know better. I didn't know better. I was literally doing the best I could. And it was a shit show. But I was doing the best I freaking could. And that's why even now, when people are saying and acting to me the way that I don't love it, I kind of do know that they're doing the best they can. Either because they think that they don't have another way to do it. They think that something in me is going to stir something up in them and that makes them afraid. Like when I know, because I am who I am. I know that I feel people when they feel me back. You don't have to even say it. Sometimes trying to say it makes me feel it more, so don't say it unless you really want me to feel it, please. But like, even that, I don't even think that you're mad at me. You're just mad at what I represent. You know? You're mad at something that isn't going right in yourself and it sucks. And You're only being mean to me because that's how it feels to you and yourself. It's been a thing like that. Don't take things personal. We've all seen the Four Agreements quotes in the book. That's actually a book that I read. I read that whole book. I know it's small, but if you guys know me in books, I don't do that. I read the whole book. And it's hard not to take things personal when you have lived as a personal person. When you have forced yourself to shift into so many different persons, to try to fit into different boxes so many times, and to, like, I've groomed myself to be accepted so many times that by the time I started waking up, I didn't even know who I was supposed to be. Am I gay? Am I straight? Do I drink? Do I not? Is it okay to still do coke? Can't I, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's so many things. So many things. Like, isn't it okay? No, don't say that. No, like, so many questions because of so many of me jumping into different pots. And I'd stay until it got too hot, and then I'd jump out. And I'd go to the next pot that looked a little easier to sit in until that pot was going to take me out. There was no way I was getting out. I got myself way too hot. It was way too hot. There was way too many people looking. There was way too many people I was worried about. There was way too many people that I didn't want to be kicked out of the cool club, even though I wasn't even cool when I was in the club. As soon as I left, they talked shit about me just like they talk shit about everybody else. You couldn't have told me that, though. Even though I've seen it sometimes. I'd just drink myself into just calling it away. No, it's not true. It's just because I was being... Sometimes people just aren't your people. Usually it's because you're not being your own person. I think that once we start being our own person, we will attract the people that love us, or at least respect us, or at least let us be our own messy self without forcing us into their pot too. And if not, then you still haven't found your people. And that's because you're probably still trying to find out who you are. It did feel like some backwards ass shit, which energy kind of does. I always think about my first Reiki appointment. I said, can you just make it punch me in the face? And she's like, no, Nancy. You have to let it come. And you have to know that it's there. And you have to feel it. And you have to feel your way out of some of the things that you did. And it's not because you have to undo them. You just have to feel back through them to get to the other side. You can't go around telling yourself that you've been a mistake and you're a waste of space for so long and then wake up, but I love myself today. That's a motherfucking lie and you know it. And your shadow, well, that part of you is lined up and ready on the other side like, I will stab you in that last... Rest in peace, Jesus and pals. Like, all the parts of us, even if you don't name them like it was helpful to me to name, it just worked. They're all there. There's a little part of you that is still like a child and wants to be loved like a child. Still wants you to be nice to her, even if other people are being mean. That means sometimes, oh, okay. And stop going around the people that are mean. Stop saying it doesn't matter. I'm fine whatever we do. If it's not true, it's not always fine. Sometimes it gets to be your turn to pick lunch. Sometimes you should tell the story. Sometimes you get to put in the last puzzle piece, I think it should be all the time. And then we just get to share with each other and make new puzzles from this really cool place of I just got to put in my last puzzle piece. Like if we were all making puzzles from those kind of landscapes, could you imagine the puzzles? That's 5D Earth right there. When we're all free to have the saltiest plate and the last puzzle piece. And who needs a pot? We're just going to jump all around this great big ball of love. We don't have to fit into anything. You just have to feel into everything. Just feel it. And be truthful to yourself. You don't have to tell other people. It's none of their business. They don't need to know what your poop looks like. They don't need to know what your belly feels like. They don't need to know the thoughts that you're talking to yourself to make yourself feel better. Sometimes you have to talk ourselves back through it. If you practice not being good enough, if you practiced not loving yourself, you have to walk back through it. I guess I'm okay. I'm okay. You know, like if in the beginning, if people would have, if I had to tell people that I was doing most of my healing work from the bathroom, do you think I would have shared that? No. Do I share it now? Yeah, because I don't give a shit. My first rewiring practice was brushing my teeth with my left hand. And I shared that because it was seemingly irrelevant. And I thought my coach was a little on crack. But what did I know? I was about to kill myself last week. So I guess that person probably knew better. Turns out that was a really fucking good idea, and I still use it every day. I still use it. One of the first things I teach when I teach people. Sometimes masculine energy is amazing. Anyway, I think all the energy is amazing, actually. I think when it's properly channeled and funneled and appreciated and aligned, then it's magical. Because who else will cut the puzzles for us? Who took the picture? Who put the boxes around it and delivered it to you? It's time for me to go play in the woods, I think. I'll see you guys later.